What's good, everybody? It's Joe, and I come back at y'all another video. So for this video, I want this to be a brief reminder to you all, right? Don't compare yourself to others. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video, I know this is, of course, something that we've learned when we were kids growing up, right? But from time to time, we might need reminders, just because we're human. Things may happen, subconsciously, right? Because we've been conditioned this way to always be looking around, right? Like there's a saying, the grass is always greener, and that's because with 8 billion people on the planet, it's not hard to find someone that in some aspect of their life they have components that you would desire. And what I mean by that is, for example, there might be someone who is in phenomenal shape, and that you're looking at that, being someone, being in a position where you probably don't have your dream body yet, right? And you see someone with a body that you would consider to be perfect, right? You'll look at that and say, man, why can't that be me? And that's all air, right? It can be when finding a partner, it can with like love, right? It can be a certain family situation of like, you see this person or this person's family, and they appear to be a close-knit family, and your family may be divided, right? It can happen with finances, it can happen with the ability to travel around the world, it can happen with, of course, like I mentioned, health, living situation, all these things. I'm just here to remind you don't compare yourself with other people. And there's a simple explanation for that. The first being that a lot of times comparison stems from jealousy and envy, right? And that is a deeper rooted issue, because that stems from people not understanding their true power, not understanding that they're creators, and not understanding that they have the power to tap into their best self and tap into the power that exists within themselves to help attract that, to help bring in their dream life, right? Like they're just not aware of their true power. And so they think if they see someone that is in the position that they want to be in, they'll be angry or frustrated because they'll believe deep down subconsciously that that person has won their prize. Not understanding that your blessings are queued up for you, right? You're your own unique person. You're your own individual person. You have your own blessings already queued up, and it's well on its way, is rushing at you in record speed. But you just don't believe that. You may not believe that because you haven't seen it unfold for you. And so because you haven't seen it unfold, you think, or it leads you to think, that it's not going to happen, that it's not on the way, right? Us humans, we've been conditioned and raised, our entire life throughout school to be logical beings, that there needs to be logical explanations, right? With math is very logical, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 plus 3 is 5, right? Like it has to make sense, and that's standard across all the subjects that we've learned, right? Like we've been taught to be logical beings. And so we need to have answers for things. Otherwise, we begin to lose hope. Otherwise, we don't think something's going to happen. But just because something hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't, doesn't mean it can't. The best example I can give, right, for everyone to follow along, we know many, many people on this planet who are married, right, that found their dream partner, their spouse, whatever it is. At some point, each one of those married individuals were once single, right? I'm sure at some point when they were single, they might have had doubts or questions on whether or not they were going to find a partner. Just because someone is single, everyone at some point when they were born, right, and raised, they were single in their lifetime, right? But people somehow, some way found their partners, right? Everyone who knows any piece of information on this planet at some point didn't know that information, because when they were born not knowing anything, right? Clean slate. All the information we have now is acquired knowledge, whether or not you acquired it through your own experiences, through trial and error, or you acquired it through your environment or learning through other people, right? Information is acquired. So if you see someone that's an expert or something, someone that seems extremely knowledgeable in something, I know it can seem like a stretch to think to yourself, how do they know so much, right? But just understand at one point, they didn't know anything about that given subject. So I say all this to let you guys know that it's okay where you're at. It's like in this digital age where everyone has social media, right? Everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? The new social media platform comes up, everyone has to download it and be on it, right? Everyone is showcasing their life. Usually it's a highlight reel of their life, right? Because most people don't want to have a negative, they don't want to show the negative side, or people for the most part don't like to be disliked or don't like to share their super personal things on social media, right? A lot of times it's just we try to keep up with the Joneses. We try to keep up with what everyone else is doing. And that is what leads people to subconsciously begin comparing themselves to others, because when you're on social media scrolling, you're just looking at other people's content. A lot of time is people showcasing their lives. And when you're looking at other people's lives, like sometimes, right, you can use it to get updates to see how people are doing, right? But other times it's like you're subconsciously looking at these things, right? People showcasing their accomplishments, their successes, all these things. And if you're in a position where you feel as though you're far away from where you want to be, that can be a little troublesome, right? Because you can start thinking to yourself, wow, look at all these great things happening to other people, and that's not really the case for myself, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to put yourself in that position. You don't want to compare yourself to other people. The grass is always going to be greener because there's 8 billion people on the planet, and it's not that hard with the internet, especially with the internet. It's not hard to find someone that you think is doing better than you in a given area of life, right? There's always most likely gonna always be someone richer than you. Most likely gonna be someone who's in better shape than you, than that. But who cares, right? When you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, you struggle to make peace with where you're at. And that's the goal when it comes to life and living a happy, successful life. The goal is to make peace with yourself and where you're at right now. Because when you make peace with where you're at, that's when you're able to make space for other blessings to enter your life. If there's anything for you to walk away from with this video, those last that last sentence I literally just shared with you, that's literally all you need to know, and you can live a super blissfully happy and successful life right there alone. It's just being able to make peace with yourself, being able to love yourself and accept yourself for where you're at. And rather than beating yourself up for not being at where you want to go, not being at your destination, why not just celebrate? Why not be happy and say, you know what, I'm not there yet, but I understand that it's about the journey, not the destination. Because you guys have to understand, when you arrive at your destination, you're gonna have an even longer list of things you want to be, do, have, and accomplish. So your actual life is literally about the journey, because you're always on the journey. You're always gonna feel out of place because there's always gonna be something that you're chasing after. So you might feel out of place right now. That's normal. That's going to happen for the rest of your life. There's always going to be uncertainty in your life for the rest of your life. You can still make peace with that. You can still make peace with where you're at, and that's the goal. I don't want you to compare yourself with other people, because you can fall into the trap of constantly feeling not good enough, constantly feeling unworthy, constantly feeling as though you're not deserving, when in actuality you are. You're powerful, you're creator. You have the power to create the life that you want. You have the power to change anything about yourself. Doesn't matter if it's personality, health, wealth, like it doesn't matter. You have the power to change anything you want in your life. That's why you're a creator. That's why you have an imagination. You can think for yourself, you can take action. You compare yourself with other people, you're always going to be in a place of unhappiness and uncertainty and concern. The moment you stop worrying about that, if you need to take a detox on social media and turn it off for some time, do that, right? And just focus on what you have in your life and everything's going on. Because I promise you, it's not that bad. If you woke up today and you're free of pain, and you can put food on the table and have water to shower and drink and all these things, like, you're fine. I'm pretty sure you're fine. You can find something grateful to be happy about. You can make peace with yourself, and that's how you can find joy and enjoy the time that you have here. And that's finding peace with yourself, and that's loving yourself, and you do that by focusing on yourself and what you have going on here and not worrying about everything else. I am able to not compare myself to others because I understand who I am, what I am, who I am, the power that I have access to at all times, and understanding that my blessings are already lined up for me and they're on their way. And my blessings are going to be unique to me, and they're not meant for other people. The way the blessing will unfold for me will unfold perfectly for me to give me the best experience possible. And it's inevitable for those blessings to unfold for me in my life. So if I understand that it's inevitable for things to unfold for me perfectly, why would there be any need for me to look at other people and look at their lives and wish that my life was there, or wish that I was in their position? There's no need for that. I can just make peace with where I'm at right now, knowing that it's inevitable for these things to all unfold for me, for it to happen, and in due time it will happen. So just wanted this video once again to remind you guys to don't compare yourself to others, because you are your own unique perspective. There will only be you, like your own unique perspective. That's what makes you special. That's what makes you you. To put it into further context, right now, present day, there's over 8 billion humans on the planet. There's God knows how many hundreds of billions of humans that came before us, the hundreds of billions that will come after us. There will never be another you. And all those hundreds of billions, if not trillions of human beings that will exist, there will never be another you. So that's why you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else. You're your own unique person. Everything's going well for you. Things will unfold for you perfectly. And trust me, it'll be, if you begin focusing on your life and what you have going on here, it will be a very enjoyable experience. So once again, it's Joel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.